Hey, what's up with y'all? It's your boy B New. I know it's been a while since I dropped a video, but I just felt like LeBron needed to finish his career, and I already made my argument on why I felt he was the GOAT. But this recent documentary with Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, has kind of awoken the beast in me, so to speak. So I feel like I need to be, made known that this documentary had a lot of flaws to it. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I know the documentary kind of jumped around and went in chronological order, but it was supposedly on his last season, but it did a lot of flashbacks. But I'm gonna start kind of where the documentary started. So when the documentary first started, it's showing the last season at first with Scottie Pippen deciding to have surgery, not in the summer, but at the beginning of the season. And Jordan basically, threw Scottie under the bus for that, saying Scottie was wrong for that, which Scottie might have been. But all these years later, you still in a documentary telling Scottie Pippen how wrong he was for that. I wonder why Michael Jordan felt it was so wrong. Why did Michael Jordan feel it was so wrong? Oh, that's right. Because he needed Scottie Pippen, and he's still pissed off at Scottie Pippen because Scottie Pippen did that to him and made him struggle. The documentary even showed that during that season, the Bulls were losing half of the games that they were playing. They started off terrible without Scottie Pippen. And then it even showed the game against the lowly Clippers. Do you know how sorry the Clippers were in '98? They were playing the Clippers, and Dennis Rodman got hurt. No, he didn't get hurt. Dennis Rodman did something stupid and got thrown out the game. And then Michael Jordan's like, do you know how pissed I was with Dennis? But Dennis came and apologized and blah, blah, blah. And since then, we was good. But I quote, Michael Jordan said, Dennis Rodman left me out there by myself. And what happened? They got their ass whooped by the Clippers. I know it's just a regular season game and all that, but that just goes to show you it is a team sport, like I said in my original video. Without Rodman, without Pippen, couldn't even beat the Clippers. But then the documentary goes on to show Michael Jordan a flashback to that season when they finally made it to the playoffs with that below 500 record. I think they only won 39 games. But anyway, but the East is so strong, but he got in winning 38 games. But anyway, praising Michael Jordan for that 60-point performance that he had against the Boston Celtics. Praising him in a loss. Like, who get praised in a loss except Michael Jordan? And then during the documentary, it's showing him going to play golf with Danny Ainge during the series. How are you going to go play golf with your competition, with your opposition during the playoff series? Now, what if LeBron James said, come on, Kawhi, or come on, Paul George, let's go out and play around the golf during the series? How much scrutiny would LeBron James come under if that were to happen? But see, nobody gives Jordan the same harsh things about Jordan as they do about LeBron. Now think about it. During the whole '80s, Jordan was 16 and 23 against Isaiah, 6 and 21 against Bird, and 5 and 5 against Magic. He never beat Bird in a playoff series. Never could beat the Celtics in a playoff series. But in the '90s, he did so good because these teams had retired. That's the point. And I had somebody tweet me and say, well, Michael Jordan was going against 4 Hall of Famers. He was going against Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale and Larry Bird and Danny Ainge and Dennis Johnson. Okay, so he gets a pass for losing against Hall of Famers in the first round, but LeBron doesn't get a pass against losing against a stacked Hall of Fame team in the finals. But yet at the age of 23, LeBron can take a team of nobodies to the finals to go against a Hall of Fame already won a championship San Antonio Spurs, who had already won a championship and already had Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Ginobili, who had already won championships previously in the '99 season. So I'm just trying to see, why does Jordan get a pass for scoring 60 and losing, but LeBron cannot get a pass? So that made me think about that. So that also it showed how Jordan was playing against Portland. It showed the flashbacks of that. And Jordan was just down in Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler wasn't as good as I was, which everybody knew that. So even you just said it, Clyde Drexler was the only good player on that team. So by the time you got to the finals, the Celtics had retired and the Lakers were on the low end of themselves. You're going against Clyde Drexler, 1 Hall of Famer, just like I said in my original video. Then you got Kevin Duckworth. And who else? Terry Porter. Come on now. And Jerome Kersey. And then they wanted to show how great they were in the Olympics. And then Jordan said, oh, well, I want to, he said he didn't didn't say that he would be on the team if Isaiah Thomas got left off of the team. But now the audio has surfaced, which I had already knew because I had saw on the Dream Team documentary where he did in fact say, if Isaiah on the team, then I'm not going to be on it. Then there's footage of him saying, no more Isaiah Thomas question, no more Isaiah Thomas question. Now you this mad that man didn't shake your hand. But you such a competitor, but, oh, he didn't shake my hand. Man, you sound like a big baby. Now I understand, I think it was the wrong move and they should have shook hands. But come on, when Celtics walked off the floor, they didn't shake the Pistons' hands. When you had an arch rivalry like that, but people say, I love it back then. It wasn't no handshaking, it wasn't no friends and this and that. But yet Michael Jordan can ride in the golf cart with Danny Ainge and be friends with them. But yet be mad, oh, you didn't shake my hand. Like, what is he on, what's the name on Django? You gotta shake my hand. Man, Jordan, man, go sit down somewhere. And then you claim to be such a great teammate, but you on here calling Scott Burrell a hoe. Scott Burrell, make the free throw, hoe. Do this, hoe. Come on, hoe. Come on, Michael Jordan. That ain't how you supposed to lead your teammates, but like Charles Barkley said, you would do that to people you know you can get away with doing that. I guarantee you was out telling Robin, please come on back. Let Rodman go out to Vegas and do what the hell he wanted to. You ain't called Rodman no hoe because you knew you needed him. Did you need Scott Burrell? No. You needed Dennis Rodman. But later on, but I ain't going to get into all that. But I know for a fact that later on, and I can give you some of my sources, CBS.com, you can go check it out, that Michael Jordan said he didn't want to come back because Rodman was crazy. That was one of the reasons. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So anyway, another thing I noticed, these was in episodes 4 through 6. Even Will Perdue was saying he was an asshole and he crossed the line many times. And then I noticed during that same episode, when they showed him quit and go play baseball, Sports Illustrated did a story on it that showed him striking out. And then he never spoke to them again and said, how dare they come out and write a piece without talking to me, without talking to the great Michael Jordan and understanding my path. No. You can be critiqued. Imagine LeBron refusing to talk to different media outlets because he didn't have an input on what he had to say. Michael Jordan couldn't even handle the pressure of what LeBron James faces in today's social media world and the microscope that is on him. What I saw Michael Jordan, a lot of people followed him and he was surrounded by a lot of media frenzy. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is the cigar smoking gambler that he was, LeBron James wouldn't dare be able to get away with that because he lived in the gym. But anyway, another thing that during that episode that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about Jordan is he didn't stand up for the senator, Harvey Gantt. Now, Jordan, you from North Carolina, born and raised in North Carolina. You played ball in North Carolina under the great Dean Smith. Hell, you even own the Charlotte Bobcats or Charlotte Hornets to this day. But yet, the first black senator who had a shot of helping be the first black senator of that state and maybe pushing some of the politics and the things that were needed for that time, for that constituency, you refused to get involved with it, Michael Jordan. And you, well, Republicans buy sneakers too. And you say, oh, I said that just joking and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you said it just joking. But regardless, you said it and you did not stand up for him. And then the senator got up there and said, oh, well, it's a sad day in Mudville tonight. Man, Michael Jordan, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And then meantime, LeBron James, he'll support Michael Brown. He'll support anything. Trayvon Martin, he'll wear the hoodies. He'll wear the quality sneakers and come out and say all these things because not only is he great on the court, he great off the court. And he came from nothing. But we're not going to get into all that. But we also, I want to touch on the fact they showed during that documentary that Steve Kerr had hit a game-winning shot during the series. But every time it's Michael Jordan is the one. Michael Jordan is the one. But let's not, before we talk about Steve Kerr hitting the game-winning shot in the series, what about when Paxson hit the game-winning shot in the finals that closed it out in Game 6 against Phoenix? Paxson hit the shot. And who passed it to Paxson? Was it Michael Jordan? No. The ball wasn't even in Michael Jordan's hands. It was in Horace Grant's hands. Horace got doubled. He kicked it out to Paxson for the 3, and they won and put Phoenix out in Game 6. Not by Michael Jordan, but by Paxson. So sometimes you're not always going to hit the game-winning shot and be the great one. But they say, well, Ray Allen saved LeBron. Ray Allen saved LeBron. But they never say Paxson saved Jordan or Kerr saved Jordan. But they always say, oh, Ray Allen saved LeBron. But LeBron had 16 points in that quarter. LeBron had 16 points in that fourth quarter. Without his 16 points, Ray Allen 3 means nothing. LeBron hit a three 2 minutes before that, and nobody even remembers that because they want to focus on Ray Allen's three, which was a great shot. But so was Paxton's shot, and so was Steve Kerr's shot. So what I'm saying is the competition, one stacked up the same. And, a lot of people want to say, another thing I didn't like, Jordan kind of threw Scottie under the bus, saying Scottie gonna always regret that. Pippen gonna always regret not coming in the game when Kukoc hit that game-winning shot when Jordan was off. Now, when Kukoc hit that game-winning shot, what if it would have been Jordan? Scottie was the leader of the team at this time because Jordan had retired. He had quit on this team for the first time, which I understand his father died and people do things in more in different ways. But in the video, it even said, Michael Jordan said, me and my dad had already been talking about me quitting and quitting so I can play baseball because it was wearing on me. He had even said, if I had to do it all over again and I want to be a role model, then I wouldn't do it because this shit not for me. That is what Michael Jordan said because it's so hard to be a role model. But anyway, back to what I was saying. He has had conversations with his dad about quitting and playing baseball before his father died. So don't say his father dying was his excuse to go quit, because this was something that was already on his mind because he had been through all these tough playoffs against the Pistons, three championships in a row with the Bulls. Then he had a break. LeBron went to 8 in a row with Olympic sandwich in between and still didn't have a break. Jordan even said, and I quote in the documentary, I needed a break. Now, LeBron went to 8 championships in a row with 2 different teams. Went to 4 championships in a row with Miami. Then with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So then he won gold in between with no breaks. But Michael Jordan said, I needed a break. But the part that just really kills me about the documentary was the 10 seconds they used for the second time when he came out of retirement and went against Orlando the second time. Now, the first year when he came out of retirement, they said, well, he didn't have his legs. He wasn't the right Michael Jordan. He wasn't ready. No excuses. You came and you went to the playoffs and you lost. So how in your 5th game back you scored 50-something points? Well, in your 5th game back, if you scored 50-something points, I think you had your legs back. Don't make excuses for the man. Now, the thing is, the part that really kills me is he got the ball stolen from him and they lost that series. And then that same Orlando team went on and got swept by Houston. So there's no guarantee that the Bulls would have beat Houston, because the same team that beat them, Houston swept in 4 games. But a lot of people say, well, Jordan came back and swept them the next year. See, there's my point. And see, that's the part that killed me about the documentary. They used 10 seconds to show that series of the rematch between Orlando and the Bulls, where the Bulls won 4-0. The reason why, because it tried to make Michael Jordan look good. The next year he was healthy. The next year he had his legs, so they came out and spanked him. No, it was a whole nother team. The previous year, the Bulls did not even have Dennis Rodman on the team. And they were going against a team that had Horace Grant, who had left the Bulls and went to Orlando, and Shaq. So they didn't have anybody to guard them in the paint. Who, Luke Longley? I don't think so. So they didn't really have anyone. So the following year, they add Dennis Rodman. Well, now all of a sudden you got somebody who can tussle with Shaq. Because, by the way, Horace Grant got injured in the first game of that series and didn't play for the rest of the series. But see, they edited all that out. They only showed 10 seconds. Michael Jordan came back the next year and Horace Grant saying, yeah, we got swept. And that was it. So all you youngsters who think, well, the only reason Jordan lost because he came back at the end of the season. No, he lost because Orlando was the better team. It's that clear. So then Michael Jordan, at the end of the documentary, you want to go on and say, well, if everybody would have came back for one season, then they would have did it. Ask Pippen, ask Kerr, everybody, ask Dennis. They would have came back to defend our stuff. But at the end of the day, Michael Jordan, you still quit again. You won as the champion, the Finals MVP. You were still on top of the game, but yet you chose to quit. Why? Because my coach, I'm not going to have the same coach because Phil wasn't coming back. Or, they might trade Scottie. Well, regardless, if people are getting traded, you're not the GM, Michael Jordan, so as soon as you don't get your way, you quit. But then you come back a few years later to run the Wizards. If I have control, if I'm a GM, if I got this and I got that, and now you want to come back and play and say, he wasn't that good now because he's old and people want to watch that Wizards team away. No, he was still so good. In year 15 or 16 or whatever year it was you was playing, Michael Jordan, you could not make the playoffs for 2 years in a row with the Wizards. You had Stackhouse in the backcourt with you. Stackhouse even complained. Look it up. Stackhouse complained that too much of the offense went through Michael Jordan, and it shouldn't have, because at that point he wasn't even as good as Jerry Stackhouse. So the point is, Michael Jordan quit on his team not once but twice. He said he needed a break, and he got one. And the documentary clearly shows that he never played the level of competition that LeBron James has faced in the finals. When he did face level of competition that has 3 or 4 Hall of Famers on the team, then he lost. Don't say, oh, he was young, it took him 7 years to... I don't want to hear it. He still lost. And at the end of the day, he quit on his team not once but twice. And the thing with Scottie Pippen is, the only reason he even schooled, he called him Pippen. He don't even call him Scottie, because they're not good friends. Jordan, you were a horrible leader. You picked on people that were weaker than you, and not too many people like you. But hey, it made you successful and made you the man you are today. Congratulations. But the only reason you made this documentary is because you saw your throne being threatened by LeBron James. Now, LeBron not finished yet. And when COVID-19 is over and LeBron is to come out as the healthiest, the most in shape athlete that the NBA has seen, and goes on to win his 4th championship with a 3rd team, the first player to do so, then you're going to crown this man again. And he's a long way from being done. He got a lot in the tank, unlike Jordan cigar smoking, golf swinging ass at that age. So this is Be New. I'm saying right on to the real, death to the fakers. Leave your comments below. If you got any questions, I'll come back in the comments below and answer them the best I can. Like my page, subscribe, share, put it out there on social media. I'm putting the Last Dance myth to bed, because that wasn't the last dance. The last dance was with the Wizards.